are in the basement with Tim Ross.
I come from, my last name is Ross. Ross is a Scottish surname, okay? So we actually traced, we traced back our Ross name back to the white man that married our African ancestor, okay, in East Texas, somewhere in some dot of a town in East Texas, Mount Enterprise, okay? There were some Scottish Rosses came over on the boat from Scotland and kept migrating west, settled in East Texas of all places, 1800s, became a part of a community. They were all like local magistrates and public speakers, go figure, and they were doctors. And so this guy named Tom Ross is married to a woman named Mary Ann Smiley, white woman. He has 2 kids with her. There's an illegal slave trade route that comes up the Sabine River that feeds slaves to Texas, Arkansas, and Louisiana. This black woman gets off the boat. My white great-great-great-great-great-grandfather, I think is 5 or 6 or whatever back there, he's smitten by her. He marries her. He has 5 children with her. That's where we all came from. So he's married to his white wife. Then he marries. This is unprecedented in the 1800s. He marries that black woman. We got the court records that show it. They did not want to write wife, so they wrote concubine. But he's married to her. He has 5 children with her. That's where we all come from. Okay, so it makes sense that I preach in so many white churches because Tom Ross broke racism in the 1800s in my family, right? This white dude marries this black African woman and has 5 babies with her, right? And so I get down with white people and Hispanic people and Singaporean people and Asian people and Australian people and Latin American people. Why? I had a dude that broke that spirit in the 1800s and simultaneously introduced the spirit of womanizing. Dude had 2 wives. He's a polygamist. So guess what else is in the DNA? Not just breaking racial barriers. What's also in the DNA is womanizing. I was born one. I have the capacity to love more than one woman at a time. That is in my DNA. I'm aware of it. So, well, you're straight and you're married to a woman and you don't have these problems. Do you know how hard it is to stay faithful? When you got a womanizer creeping around in your DNA? Yo, this is real talk. You know what I'm saying? Do I have a same-sex attraction? No. Actually, I was molested by a teenage boy, right? So that could have easily opened me up to it. Didn't happen. I wasn't born with a same-sex attraction, but I was born a womanizer. I promise you that. Juliet knows. And I know. And everybody that's close to me knows. And now all of y'all in the basement know. Right? So I'm on a short leash. I've been walking with Jesus for 26 years. I'm on a short leash. Because I know what my leanings are. Ooh, if there was a scripture in the Bible that says, thou shalt have as many wives as possible. Oh my God. What? Oh my goodness. But that's not in the Bible. And since it's not in the scripture, right, some people will say, well, Old Testament, David had many wives and Jacob had many wives and blah, 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 blah. No, that's not the way. The stuff that God had to work through humanity to get back to the redemptive story at the end, he had to go through a lot of messy people to get to what he wanted, right? But the beginning was a man and a woman. That's the beginning of it. That's the end of it. The Bible starts with a marriage in Genesis 2. It ends with a marriage in Revelation 21, right? It starts with a marriage and it ends with a marriage, right? The Spirit and the bride say, come. It's the end of the book, okay? But it's not in the, so I don't have scriptural permission to be a womanizer.